Well, shooters and reloaders and Three Circles passengers and members, it's Fortune Cookie 45 LC coming to you from the Hot Lead Zone Express up here in Washington State. And I'd like to show you a new gun that's in the stable at the Hot Lead Zone. And perhaps you can guess what it is. Look at this big case. And it's got 4 latches on it. This is the factory case that the gun comes in, and it's from Ruger. Well, what kind of gun comes in a case like this? Another hint is that this gun, particular model, was introduced in 1959, and it's still being made all the way till the present day. And I'm going to present some different things about this gun than what you've seen in other YouTube videos or any other video on any other platform. Well, let's show you what it is. So first of all, you got 4 latches, and if you don't think about that, you open 2 of them, you try to open the case and won't open. You got 2 more latches over here. Now it'll open. And the usual instruction sheet and the paperwork, but you go ahead and open this up, and this was always put into a case that's like a paper box, a cardboard box, this kind of thing, but now they have it in this real nice case. And what it is a Ruger Super Blackhawk in 10.5-inch barrel length. Well, what's so special about that, Fortune Cookie? For after all, you have other Super Blackhawks, and that's true. Got several 7.5-inch barrel lengths, but never had a 10-inch before. So let's clear this first. Make sure that we don't have any rounds in there. Nope, it's empty. But one of the first things that you look at is that this barrel is a full width barrel, doesn't have any taper to it, and it's quite impressive. The finish on this gun is excellent, as I'll show you in a little while. The crown is perfect, and here's something about this that perhaps might tip you off that I think Ruger is looking at this as being a flagship of their single action type of pistols. And that is because when you go ahead and run this, take the gun to full cock, and that lockup is excellent compared to what the usual Ruger single action is. Only a very slight amount of play in that cylinder at full lockup. And when you go ahead and pull the trigger, there's even a little less lockup. It's pretty tight. Tighter than most Super Blackhawks or any Blackhawk. And there's 0 end play, which is really nice. The fit of the wood stocks, the nice figured walnut stocks, the wood to metal fit is excellent. In fact, you might even say that it's darn near perfect. The only thing that I found to be a problem is that when you look through this part, you can just see a little bit of light shining through there. So the fit is not as perfect right here on the front edge, but the rest of it's really nice. And again, we'll show you that in close-up. But yeah, it has the Dragoon type of trigger guard, which is not favored as a rule because in recoil it'll hit your knuckle, and that could be quite painful. But another thing that we look at is the barrel is clean. The little bit of writing on the barrel that's required has been hidden right here underneath where you can't even see it. In fact, you have to look twice to even see it there because it's almost innocuous. But the ejector rod is also a ejector rod that's longer than normal. You don't see that length ejector rod. I wish they would go ahead and put this same one on the 7.5-inch Super Blackhawk. But the nice thing about this length of ejector rod is that when you go ahead and run that stroke, it clears the empty cases completely. So as you see, I usually am very vigorous when I kick the empty cases out. With this one, the ejector rod's long enough that the entire case is clear. So you don't have to do it vigorously. Just go to full stroke and that case is out of there. So that's something that's very nice about this gun. And it really looks like this might be considered by Ruger to be their flagship of the single actions. And see if you agree with me after you see the close-up. Let's go ahead and show you the close-up on this. So as we said before, this case is a relatively new kind of introduction provided by Ruger for the 10.5-inch Super Blackhawk. So 4 latches again. You open it up like this. So you go ahead and open this up, and here's your pistol. Now this doesn't have the mirror finish that was on the old 3-screw Super Blackhawks, but look at that nice wood to metal fit. It's simply excellent. And nice wood. Right there, there's a little bit of a crack, but it's not, there you saw a little bit of light going through. You see that? That's the only objectionable thing that can be said about the fit of the wood grips. The metal work is very well presented. There's your undercut Partridge front sight, typical of the 10.5-inch Ruger barrel. And there's that nice crown. And the ejector rod again is extra long. The trigger pull is not as good as the old 3-screw, but that's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's not heavy. Certainly not as heavy as the single action of the Anaconda Colt. And again, notice no objectionable writing on the barrel anywhere visible. And there's that nice top strap. This gun was purchased from Sportsman's Warehouse, and I'm very glad to have been able to finally get a 10.5-inch Super Blackhawk. My friend Daryl from my childhood days got a hold of one of these in the 1970s, and I always admired it. Never shot his 10-inch Ruger, but I did admire it and said someday we'll get one of these, and that day has finally come. We'll look forward to going to the range and shooting this gun there. Take care. We'll see you next video. Bye for now.